American Latino athletes, presented by McDonald's.
He's one of the best fighters in any division in the UFC today, period.
The UFC lightweight champion Anthony Pettis!
MMA kind of found me. I started off with Taekwondo and boxing as a kid. My mom was going to school full time, and we did Taekwondo while she was in school. So after Taekwondo and boxing, MMA was kind of the next transition into challenging myself. Mixed martial arts was becoming huge. UFC was becoming a huge brand, and that was everybody that did Taekwondo or any kind of traditional martial arts wanted to test themselves. As a kid, I lost my dad when I was 16 years old. He was killed in a house robbery, actually across the street from my house. So when you're faced with something like that, you kind of have to figure out your life at a young age. I had to grow up, I had to mature. At 16, I had to become one of the mans of the house. I had a younger brother looking up to me, so I had a decision to make. And I saw my mom, how sad she was. So you lose your two heroes in life. My dad is my hero, my mom's my rock, and they both, my dad's gone, my mom breaks down. So I had to mature and man up as a kid. And then I think without martial arts, I probably wouldn't have been in this position right now that I'm in. So I'd really credit martial arts, mixed martial arts, the UFC for giving me a life after I lost my dad.
And the Showtime nickname comes from the fact that when the lights are on, this kid performs even better than what he does in the gym.
My nickname is Showtime. When I fight, I put on a show, and I think it's not something I try to do. It's just my fighting style. It's the way I get out there and do it. I do things that most guys can't do. I'm throwing kicks and punches that you see in movies, and I'm making it work in fights.
That's it! My goodness!
To remain the champ is you got to stay hungry. You gotta remind yourself what got you here. I think I surround myself with people that remind me why I'm the champ and what I got to do to stay the champion. My younger brother's a professional fighter as well, and he lives with me, trains with me, and I get to see how hungry and how hard he grinds. And he's not the champ. He's not making as much money as I am, but he's putting that work in. So I know there's guys in my weight class doing the same thing. So I kind of just drive off of that. And I remember, that was me a couple years ago before I had the belt. I think the Wheaties Box deal was amazing. For Wheaties to acknowledge UFC and MMA as a sport and as a brand, the way to be on a Wheaties Box is huge. And for me to be that athlete, I just feel like I'm just the pioneer right now for all these young kids that are looking up to us as athletes. The example of what it should be, like. I'm a clean cut guy. I know how to talk well. I fight. My fighting skills do all the speaking for me. And I'm not a cheater. I don't cheat I don't use any performance drugs. I'm a very clear-cut dude. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm trying to be a role model, but I grew up teaching martial arts. And when you grow up teaching martial arts, you're teaching life skills with kicks and punches, respect, discipline, teaching kids how to act, and then helping them become a better person. So I could kind of that's how I grew up, man. I was teaching kids. I was 16 years old, teaching these young kids what respect was, what discipline was, what motivation was, and it just transitions. My position's higher in the world now, and I think I reach more people, and I just keep it going.
And still, the UFC undisputed lightweight champion of the world, Anthony Showtime